Hello everyone, welcome to Philosophy 241, Consciousness and Cognition. My name's Matt DiStefano and I'm going to be the instructor for the course. I just wanted to do a quick D2L tour here. There are a few features, including access to the textbook, that I think could be helpful to go over. Introduce you to the general structure of the course in terms of what grading will look like, and just a few quick notes. Best way to reach me is my email, which is on the syllabus. It's my last name, DiStefano, at email.arizona.edu. I'm aiming to return all emails within 48 hours. I know that being able to access and communicate with the instructor of an online course is crucially important to success, and I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure that I stick to that rule. Around deadlines, that might be a little slower just because I get a slew of emails during that time, obviously, but I'm going to do my best to keep up on that. So go ahead and reach out to me with any questions about the course content, about the D2L site within reason. Of course, I might have to give you off to D2L help, which is amazing, by the way. If you haven't used it, they are very helpful. But here is the D2L site. There will be a video up, this video, in the welcome section here, but the meat of everything will, of course, be under content. First, let's talk about this vital source inclusive access. This is the way that you're going to have access to the class text, which is Mindware from Andy Clark. So let me slow that down and do that again so that you can see what I did. If you go to content, and then you scroll all the way down to Vital Source Inclusive Access here on the left-hand side. That's a program that's, as far as I know, new at U of A, which allows you to have access through D2L to the textbook for a sort of fraction of the cost of the actual physical book. Of course, you can still obviously get the physical book if you prefer it. I know some people very much prefer having a physical text that they can read not on a computer screen, and I understand that. But if you want to use inclusive access, it is available to you through Vital Source. And you'll just hit read now, and it'll bring you to Mindware. And I believe you have to create an account for this Vital Source company or Vital Source application, I should say. But it's relatively easy, and then you'll have access to the text that way for a much cheaper cost. Okay, so let's take a look at the syllabus here, which is up on D2L under content and start here, appropriately named, so get you acclimated to the course. The subject matter, of course, is did not mean to the pun there. Consciousness, or to repeat, of course, is consciousness and cognition. And we are really at the intersection of philosophy and cognitive science in this course. We're looking at subjects like, what is the relationship between the brain and the mind? What are the contents of my conscious experience? What is the nature of my conscious experience, right? We have all of this physical stuff in the world, and then we have this subjective perspective of all of it. And how does that work? How does that interact with the physical stuff? And we'll look at some different perspectives on these issues. There's all the boilerplate sort of, but important policies on absence and class participation, less applicable in an online course, but still relevant for in terms of dropping or withdrawing from the course. Academic integrity. If you're going to use outside sources, cite them. If you're going to use the sources that are provided, cite them. Cite. It's never a bad idea to cite something, and it's important to do so, right? Not to rip off other people's work. Discrimination, harassment, threatening behavior, especially in the discussion portion of this course where you are directly replying to one of your peers. It's important to be respectful. I don't know if the sort of hot button issues of perhaps politics or ethics they're not going to be applicable to this course, and people might not be as fired up about certain debates in consciousness and cognition, but still be respectful and be kind. Don't be a jerk over the discussion boards, right? And this is a writing intensive course, and that will go nicely into the grading breakdown for the course. The writing part of this course is going to be fulfilled in two ways. One are discussion board posts and replies. You can go to this discussions tab and see that for each unit there will be a discussion board post and an area for you to reply to one of your peers. I'm going to put an example reply and post up for you so you sort of get an idea of what I'm looking for. I don't want 1 or 2 sentences, but I don't want an essay term length. This is meant to be a sort of quick and easy way to check in that you are engaging with the material and thinking about it in some way. It's not going to be too stringently graded, but I certainly want more than, say, I really liked that piece or something, right? And the other component which will fulfill the writing requirement is the term paper. There will be prompts posted before the rough draft is due, and they'll most likely be on the first few subjects of the course. And you will write this paper, then turn it in through D2L, and I will provide written feedback, giving you areas to improve, suggesting revisions. And then you have the opportunity to resubmit it at the end of the semester for a chance at an improved grade. And I say a chance at an improved grade because what I'll end up doing is taking the higher of the two, which will essentially make the rewrite optional, correct? Right? So if you write the first one and you get 100%, unlikely given a rough draft of a paper, and hundreds on papers are rare, but if there's no room for improvement, or if you think you're satisfied with, say, an A, and that's what you got the first one, you don't need to do the second one. You can rest on your laurels of the first paper's success and not turn in the second one. Lastly, the other component of the grading besides the writing of this course will be quizzes. These are meant to be, checking for reading comprehension or reading in general. They're almost exclusively based on the text that we will be reading. So lectures are meant to help you understand the papers or chapters that we're reading and help guide you through it and maybe get you to think about it in some ways that you perhaps haven't. But all of the quizzes will be grounded in the text. And I think that's important because, one, it allows, you to fully invest in taking notes on the text or using the text during a quiz, right? If it's open book, you can refer back to that and look for the answer in the text and ground your answer in the text. And I think that's a useful way of making you engage with the reading again, right? And so those are multiple choice or true or false questions. They're not meant to be too difficult, but since it is open book, they're less straightforward than you might expect from the sort of easy check for reading quizzes that you might have in, say, an in-person class, where you aren't able to use notes or open text. At the bottom of the syllabus, you can see a course schedule. I will say that it's possible some of the later stuff might change a little bit, but I will make sure to announce that through the announcements page on the course home. I think you can get emails about this as well, but I won't update that without letting you know. Okay, I think that's all we need for this introductory video. I'm looking forward to a nice semester with you all, fast semester. It always does seem to go fast, but we hopefully will have some interesting discussions about consciousness. Looking forward to it. And again, reach out to me through email with any questions, comments, or concerns, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.